So guys, got some presents in the mail today. I got a flywheel that I believe will work for this. Best as I could tell, I'm pretty sure they're the same as any K-series flywheel. And if they're not, I will be able to tell you by the end of this, but should be. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the stator out. And before I put the flywheel on, I'm going to finish cleaning out these the fins on this motor, and then I'm going to put the flywheel on, and I'm going to have to put the blower shroud back on just because all the throttle linkage and everything goes through that, which linkage is actually laying up on the hood, all the bolts and stuff for it, the pivot bolts and spacers. But anyhow, off subject, going to be changing this out, stator, flywheel. I'm going to have to take the clip off that so I can run this up through, but regardless, if you guys don't know how to change a stator, probably ought to go find a video on how to do it. Like I said, I'm not doing a how-to series on this. I'm just doing it, bringing you guys along for my success and failures. And so far, the main failure was charging system. And mainly the dunder head behind the camera. I think it's half that problem, but regardless, I don't know. I've just had bad luck with these stators. Every single one I've touched has fried. So I don't know. I think it's got to be error on my part, because obviously they work for how many years, and all of a sudden when I touch them, they fry. So note to self: don't do that. So anyhow, here we go. I'll bring you guys along if I find anything interesting out. But shouldn't be too awful hard, I don't think. Only one way to find out. Here we go. So guys, I got it all put together. The only thing I wasn't able to reuse, and I do a little bit of fudging, is because this flywheel is a slightly different application. I could not reuse the adapter that goes in the center to fill in that big hole in the screen, so it is what it is. And I had to put washers underneath every bolt in order to space it out just enough. And there was one little kink in there I had to bend out so it wouldn't touch. But I think we should be good to go here. It's getting dark. It's right at dusk now, so I'm gonna crank this thing up, throw a little bit of gas in it, and just go mow with it and see what it does. I haven't changed the seat pan here, obviously. I need to do that, but for tonight I just want to see if it's going to function good, and then I'll get back with you guys whenever I go to change the seat pan. Alrighty guys, so it's many nights later here. It's actually 2 nights later since I was mowing with this thing. And I'm working on some details here today. I tried swapping out the seat pan, hoping a 800 or 400 would be better. No dice there. It's actually worse, believe it or not, which I haven't quite figured that one out yet why, but I'll show you guys what I got going on here, hopefully. There you go. Okay. You guys see I have just that amount of clearance there. What I have done, spark plug wire was in the road. I have one washer and I have 2 rubber spacers in there on both sides. And that is just just the perfect clearance. I'm sure while you're sitting on it, it might tap on it a little bit, but at least there's no actual weight being held up by that valve cover. So I think that's going to work out okay. I cleaned the carburetor. There was a bunch of stuff in it, but there wasn't really anything, no like ethanol goo or water or nothing like that. No super smoking guns, just some dirt, probably from me taking the fuel lines on and off. So I'm going to check the oil here. I'm going to change the steering wheel, because I kind of forgot about that. The steering wheel for this is laying, another steering wheel is laying right there anyhow. And I'm going to go out and try and mow with this in the daylight. It is about 7:30 right now, so I've been monkeying with this since about 6 o'clock. It takes a lot longer than you realize to do stuff like this. Because of course I had the seat pan the whole way on and off, which I did grab a picture of that, but that's it. I would like to take this exhaust off and weld. There's a couple holes in here I missed, so I'll do that one night too. And then in reality, there's really only another week, and then I would like to either make a drag for this thing to go underneath, or find a belly mount grader blade. If nothing else, I'll take a Gravely front blade up with this, and it'll sit up there, and then this can pull the roller too. So alrighty guys, I'm going to get crack-a-lacking at it, and we'll see what happens here. I only got a few more details to finish up, really. Exhaust was one thing. I could probably make the cover work on this thing, but all it would do would be divert the heat further in out of the seat pan, which I kind of want it to disperse out evenly. So, yeah. So, anyhow, back to you guys when I got something interesting going on. Don't know if I ever really showed the linkage really well, but you can see the yellow and orange piece is what I swapped. And I flipped the, right here, the cables, they were up here on this side before, and I flipped the bracket around and put them down here to work with the Gravely setup. And I ended up bending a normal Kohler choke cable holding bracket, and I ended up bending a U in it, so the cable is right here with the clip on it right here at the cable, and that seems like it's working. It hasn't fallen off yet. I got the cables secured. They ran a little uniquely compared to anything else because it has to run along here, and I ended up running the throttle cable down along by the hydraulic lines there and over, and the fuel line is over here, and for once on a Gravely the fuel line is away from the exhaust because I got the exhaust going out the right hand side. Because had I not welded it, I could have tried putting the exhaust back out the left hand side like normal, but I guess it'll be okay. I wish I could put a bend in that pipe because it is a little close to that tire, but there's still 2 inches in there. As long as this doesn't sit in one spot and run at 3,000 RPM for, you know, a half hour or 40 minutes or something, I think it'll be okay. Anyhow, here I go. Maybe we should put some kind of rear light on this thing just in case we get into working after dark. Stuff I can do later, because I can always bolt a light on and then power it off the coil or something. Right? Right. So there's actually a bracket here. So, anyhow, later.